be it glitches in the Matrix or sudden disappearances.
We have seen the ladder walk. I think we better go get it.
Here are some of the most unbelievable footage that no one has an explanation for. From the very creepy nature and body stance, you can get the vibe of this being a zombie. The source of this clip was just parking outside a fast food restaurant when he noticed this bizarre entity, which he first took to be a person until he got a better look at it. It had no shirt on, just jeans with its head rolled back. It suddenly started moving seconds after the footage started rolling. The source who saw the moment in person added that nothing about it looked normal, rather that this looked like an actual real-life zombie. Walking over water. This unknown person was either as light as a feather or was defying gravity as we have never known it. Bystanders in India were puzzled to notice an unknown person who was casually walking on the very surface of water. Now, even if this was very shallow water, you'd have noticed splashes or at least a much reduced speed with water obstructing the way. With all that in mind, it's clear that this unknown entity was somehow walking over water. Slipped or pulled. Imagine being in the middle of a busy shift when something like this happens. A restaurant chef who, while warming up food, had both of his legs pulled by what can only be explained to be the doing of a paranormal entity. At first, many of the viewers thought he could have slipped, which not only the reaction and facial expression would say otherwise, not to mention the very pull says it all. Mystery disappearance. A sudden disappearance at a crowded airport has left witnesses in shock. Amid the usual bustle of the luggage screening line, one man inexplicably vanished without a trace. The woman standing directly behind him let out a scream, pointing to the space where he'd just been moments before. His bag remained on the floor, untouched, but he was gone. Airport security scoured every nearby CCTV feed, yet no footage showed him leaving, walking away, or even moving. It was as if he had been erased from reality right in front of a crowd. Some believe he was never human to begin with. Others fear something unseen, something not of this world snatched him away. Stuck in selfie loop. Even though everyone today has the habit of taking selfies, this one, however, is an abnormal case. A passenger who was commuting on a bus noticed this strange woman who was continuously seemed to be stuck in a loop of taking a selfie with the camera before checking and then again taking another selfie, repeating the process over and over endlessly. Perhaps the only thing that could break the loop aside from outside intervention is that her camera runs out of battery. Possible time traveler? Traveling through space and time may seem to be a thing only of fiction until this footage got attention. A CCTV camera that was installed in a backyard captured an unknown hooded man that was walking all over the place before he grabbed onto something. That something blinked several times so bright that the camera was able to pick the signature even in broad daylight. The hooded man then suddenly disappeared along with his handheld device. The immediate vibe that you get from seeing this moment is very similar to a time traveler. Hollow man spotted. A family was filming while feeding a rabbit when they accidentally caught something in the background that they hadn't first noticed. What appeared was a pair of legs wearing light shaded trousers, but they had no torso or any other visible part of the body. Since it appeared within the streetlight, we can see that this indeed was a person, such as a hollow man who was given away by his pants. Petrified cat. This isn't some sort of stuffed cat or statue, but an actual living cat that somehow was petrified. A clip that was posted on TikTok by a homeowner who was surprised to discover what looked like an actual living cat that turned into a stone at the very moment when it was attempting to drink water from a tap. Interesting, within moments, the cat turned back to reality and started moving around like nothing ever happened. Was this cat frozen in time, or is this a glitch in the Matrix?
Oh, you good?
Paused woman.
That's actually really concerning.
Creepy. I don't know what's going on
This is either another NPC that's glitching, or a woman who is paused willingly or unwillingly. A couple of workers of a convenience store in Los Angeles spotted this woman who was somehow frozen completely in the parking lot while seemingly being in motion. After a passage of a minute, and as other pedestrians in the parking lot started to notice the woman, she then resumed to start walking as if nothing had happened.
What?
Levitation.
My name is Angelia. I took lessons from Ernst on levitation. I have been doing it for over 7 months.
A mysterious girl posted a strange video online, and it didn't take long before it captivated viewers everywhere. In the clip, she wandered through an unknown area, seemingly searching for something. Then, at a specific spot, she suddenly stopped only to lift her feet off the ground in what appeared to be a moment of true levitation. Even more astonishing, the stick she held began to rise into the air on its own, as if guided by an unseen force. The footage captured the phenomenon, yet no one has been able to identify her, and the mystery behind her gravity-defying act remains unsolved. Frozen in time. A couple in England, while walking their dogs, suddenly froze in their tracks. The bushes, however, in the still seemed to be moving around with the gentle breeze. According to the couple, their dogs remained frozen for nearly 4 minutes before they unfroze as a random bird that came into their path before flying away. The couple was left shocked and speechless by the incident and shared the footage on social media, hoping to get some answers.
I couldn't believe it. You could see the leaves moving and all the bushes, but the dogs were completely still.
Walking through bars. While it's very unlikely for the baby to make a way out of the baby gate without much ease, it was a walk in the park for this one. A parent who, while spending time with his infant and filming a memory, was shocked to see the little one walking through the baby gate bars like a ghost. The bars of the gate were a bit too narrow even for the baby is what made this unbelievable. Now, considering how easily and confidently the infant made it through, it shows that this wasn't the first time that this infant escaped. Bambi glitch. This may seem like just another case of birth deformity that some animals suffer, but not exactly. While out for a golf, one of the involved participants noticed a young deer that appeared curiously moving and grazing around. In that moment, 2 separate heads could clearly be seen popping out in either direction. Within just a couple of seconds, as the little deer moves around, one of the 2 heads disappears and is never visible, as if it never existed. Even though the moment was caught on camera, the weird spectacle left the recorder scratching his head.
2-headed deer.
Gone from existence. This little girl was playing with what looked to be a toy stick and a Christmas ball while being supervised by a babysitter. With smartphone addiction being the norm, the babysitter happened to be recording when the Christmas ball suddenly disappeared while the girl was still playing.
Okay, pay attention, pay attention. Where'd it go?
Though the girl was only confused, it terrified the recorder at the moment, thinking this could be some kind of paranormal activity in play.
Where'd it go?
Disappearing deer. Every time deer show up on the street, they either manage to get on the other side of the forest or get struck down. In case of this one, them however happened to disappear without a trace. It suddenly appeared on the street where it and the driver both seemed to be panicking. In doing so, the deer suddenly disappeared out of thin air into the road's aluminum barrier. The dash cam of the car that was recording happened to catch the entire moment on camera. Falling cloud. Among all the things that have fallen from the sky, a cloud was never expected to be one of them. A mining crewman in Indonesia that were gathering before the start of their day noticed a cloud-like foam that was fast descending towards the ground. They had mixed feelings about whether this was an actual cloud, a product of science, or something else completely. According to other theories, this could be condensation of water vapor or gas due to the mining activity in that area. However, its exact details remained unknown. Haunted but on command.
Turn on full bright for my friend Regan. Oh, hi.
A student at an undisclosed university campus discovered this lamp that responds to commands. Initially, it was believed to be some AI in play here, or perhaps a remotely activated switch, but that isn't the case, as no wires could be seen anywhere. The source shared that this may have been the doing of a ghost that follows command, but with no reported paranormal activity in the area, this remains a mystery.
There it is. See? See? It does that. That's what it does.
Rocky Mountain figure.
¿Una persona?
No, no, es algo
Sí,
muy
es una
grande.
¿Es un niño?
Its nature, body language, and the general vibe that surrounds all things point to this not being some human, although it has features of one. A group of hikers who were passing through a hilly forest spotted this strange, unknown humanoid that appeared on the summit of a high-rise rocky mountain. Aside from the distance and height, hikers decided not to close in out of fear, instead filmed by zooming in on it. As the footage made it to the internet, some started calling Witch a shapeshifter, or perhaps a spiritual figure making a physical presence.
¿Una persona?
No, no, es algo.
Playing with ghosts. Sometimes dogs can be so friendly that they don't mind playing with ghosts. A dog owner who took his pet out for a walk and was playing fetch with a frisbee. As the dog returned with it, only started facing resistance from an invisible force. The so-called invisible force seemed to be attempting to pull the frisbee from the dog, turning it into a tug-of-war. Meanwhile, the owner, who happened to be filming, caught the entire moment on camera while being surprised at the same time. Now, if this wasn't some ghost, what else could be the explanation for this?
What are you doing?
Backfired surveillance. Watching over someone from a distance may seem like a safe option, but can be equally as scary once spotted. A concerned neighbor was looking over a rented house next to his after noticing abnormal activity. The newly arrived occupants seemed to be sitting around a table, turning one of the lights on and off repeatedly until they all suddenly turned around and started staring back at the recorder as if they knew of his presence all along. Were they all about to get in some ritual or possessed by a spirit, or just that maybe this family was weird by nature? Shivering canine. The fact that guard dogs are barely scared of even a ghost, this one says something far more scarier to be this spooked. A pet owner, after waking up, noticed her dog behaving very weirdly, staring at the corner of the room while shivering terribly at the same time. Now, even though there was no reported paranormal activity in the room or the entire place, but the dog wasn't breaking his staring, showing a real concern. Perhaps instead of a ghost or spiritual figure, an actual demon may have appeared. Moving ladder. Either this ladder has come to life or is constantly being influenced by a paranormal entity. A house painter who was returning from a lunch break noticed a ladder that was getting away on its own, slowly but gradually.
Well, anyway, we have seen the ladder walk. I think we better go get it.
Being amazed at seeing a ladder made of metal moving, he quickly filmed this one-of-a-kind moment on his camera. While it's largely unclear as to how this happened, with even the most reasonable explanation, which would be a paranormal entity taking it away, sounds ridiculous.
I think we better go get it.
Ghost interacting cat. As random movements and behaviors of the cats can be, you can still pick up when something doesn't seem right. A cat owner filmed his cat, who, while pedestalizing itself on top of a closet, started to behave differently. At first, it was staring at something that its eyes and attention were locked on, then it proceeded, attempting to touch or grab or feel it. The cat then seemed quite patient, yet interested in getting some kind of attention or recognition. The owner, who experienced the moment in person, was convinced that this was either some ghost or spirit that the cat was trying to connect with. Real-life NPCs. Non-player characters or NPCs aren't just a thing of videos, but real life as well, but if you look around carefully, could sometimes spot them. A biker in Paris who, while waiting on a friend, noticed several pedestrians that were behaving quite weirdly. A number of them walking past an empty building after accidentally glancing towards it would walk up to the building and pause, appearing to look inside while getting into a freezing stance. After being frozen for a couple of seconds, they would all seem to detach from a frozen stance before walking away. Non-player character. Looks like non-player characters aren't just limited to video games, but also in real life. A clip taken by a passerby showed a young man standing next to a wall facing a trash can. What's alarming here is that he didn't move at all, where you couldn't even notice him slightly while inhaling or exhaling. He looks like an actual human being who may have been hypnotized, possessed, or even petrified for him to be in such a firm stance for hours. What do you think could be the reason? Do share with us your opinion down in the comments. Disappearing and freezing. A remote resident who, while attending to his chickens, was left puzzled to notice 2 to 3 of them suddenly disappearing while the rest froze. The chickens were frozen in between movements and grazing as if there was a pause in time or reality aside from the owner.
It's grab time! What the fool?
Luckily, he had a recording camera at that moment and was able to gather evidence rather than sound too insane to be true.
Why are they all not moving?
Malfunctioning Minaj.
Greatest woman.
You alright?
Huh?
You okay?
Regardless of who it might be on the screen, even with the volunteer effort, no one would be able to spasm to this extent. This video of Nicki Minaj went viral in 2014, showing the moment when she randomly started to behave weirdly, or malfunctioning would be the better word to describe.
Greatest woman.
You alright?
Huh?
You okay?
This incident fueled conspiracies that already surround when it comes to most celebrities, like them being lizard people, having doubles, and even look-alike robots, where this incident very much seems to show that some of these conspiracy theories might be true after all. Roaming paranormal figure. A small group of explorers and adventure seekers discovered this long-abandoned ancient cabin in the woods. Excited about the discovery, they started looking around the area, which was quite large and spacious. However, one of them, while filming the area, captured a very dark shadow of a figure that appeared hovering from one side and within seconds disappeared. Although they were able to identify that this was some roaming paranormal figure, but since they didn't know much, uploaded the footage on social media, hoping to get answers. Demon goat. Although goats are known to be able to climb trees, mountains, and even a wall, this case, however, is completely different. A villager from an undisclosed location shared this video showing a black goat that was walking on its hind legs very casually and was holding something with its front limbs. The goat almost looked like a person is what caught the attention of all the bystanders. They started to call it a possible demon possession or an actual demon appearing in person as a goat. What do you think this could be? Do share without your opinion down in the comments. Staring reptilian. As we live and breathe, it's hard to imagine a reptilian creature more massive, bizarre, or terrifying than the one recently spotted near Barnegat Bay in eastern New Jersey. A lone fisherman captured a chilling video and shared it on Instagram, revealing a towering, lizard-like figure rising from the fog-laden waters. He described it as a humanoid beast, scaly and upright, with a face lined with gills and webbed claws that bore an uncanny resemblance to the legendary creature from the Black Lagoon. Local whispers speak of something ancient stirring in the salt marshes where the bay meets the sea. Superpower? In the clip, a man stands perfectly still, then slowly raises his hands. Moments later, dry leaves scattered across the ground begin to swirl and drift toward him as if pulled by some unseen force, like he possessed powers beyond explanation. Nearby, another man watches silently, calm and composed, as though the spectacle unfolding before him was routine. Neither showed a hint of surprise. To them it seemed normal, but to everyone else it was anything but. Some believe the man displayed true telekinesis, moving objects with his mind, while others suspect a deeper, unknown force was at work, revealing something far beyond the limits of human understanding. Flying boat. In 2010, a beachgoer witnessed something that defied all logic, a boat seemingly floating in midair above the ocean, rather than resting on the waves. At first, some claimed it was a rare optical illusion known as a fata morgana, a mirage caused by atmospheric conditions bending light, but not everyone was convinced. Others believed what they saw wasn't from our world at all. To them, it was a fleeting glimpse into another realm, an otherworldly vessel suspended between dimensions. Perhaps, they argued, this was evidence that alternate worlds exist, hidden just beyond the veil of perception. And in that moment, the boundary between ours and theirs may have briefly blurred. Open discussion. This footage was shared on Instagram by an unknown source, showing several dogs that were in a very weird kind of distress. Two of the dogs were hanging down a fence diagonally while gripping each other's jaws. A third dog steps in and breaks one of them free while the other one remains in distress. What exactly happened here, or how? We leave the detective of this one to you to dissect. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again,